my name is Joseph Carlson, and this is episode 158 of Gaming with Grief, and I'm calling this episode Portal 2 and Elder Sign Review Impressions. But before we get to that, I want to remind you guys that this podcast will hit my website, www.gamingwithgrief.com, Monday morning at 7 a.m. Please go there, let me know what you think of the show, what I can do to improve, stuff like that. You can subscribe to the podcast on either Apple iTunes, the Google Play Store, I'm on Spotify, or you can listen to old episodes on YouTube. I'm putting those up slowly but surely, one every day until I get caught up. So go there and listen to old episodes. And again, I will be caught up where the rest of these will be, day and date with when this goes up. If you want to write to me, you can go to gwgpodfellows@gmail.com. Just write me a line. Let me know what you think of the show. I'll answer a question. Maybe you have a suggestion or a game you want me to review, something like that. I think that's it for that. So it was a long time coming. I had that other episode about how long it takes to grieve, which was last week, and I had some audio issues with that. I deeply apologize. Everything sounded good. All the recordings sounded good. Excuse me, when I did tests. But I played it back and there was some interference. And what's terrible about it is I think it was a really heartfelt episode. It meant a lot to me. So it's really hard to go back when you are doing something really heartfelt and meaningful to go back and re-record feelings. So I didn't do that. It's a little rough. If you want to listen to it, you can go back and listen to that. But yeah, so I said I was going to do Portal 2. And really, this isn't a game about grief. It's really just me. Like I've said the past few episodes, a friend of ours, Ben Nelson, passed away 2 or 3 episodes ago around his birthday on May 7th. My friends and I recorded a podcast about that because we were all friends with him and we missed him. And I've been thinking about Ben for a long time. Obviously, he's my friend. I think about him all the time. But especially lately with it as being his birthday, I thought about him more. And like I said, 3 or 4 episodes back, years ago, we were having a kind of impromptu competition with who could beat Portal and Portal 2. And I think it was kind of unspoken when we did Portal. It was kind of a gentle ribbing. But when they announced Portal 2, which came out in 2011, it was developed by Valve, the same people that developed Portal 1. Ben and I kind of got in a more heated competition where, just good ribbing between friends. But I think it got really serious when Portal 2 came out. So that was what I was like, you know what? I was thinking about Ben a lot, and I would be checking my Steam library, and everybody that I know that I listen to podcasts with said that Portal 2 was an amazing game. And I thought about Ben a lot, and I thought, it's just sitting there, kind of like poking me, Now, this is a puzzle game. I'll be really honest. I really enjoyed it. But like any game, when you get to the end, and I've said this many times on past episodes, you kind of speed up a bit and you feel the end coming and you kind of want to get done with it. So if you're reading a book, like my pace quickens when I read because, you have 3, 4, 10 pages left, something like that. And you kind of can feel the end. I think Portal 2 is a really good game. It felt like towards the end, and maybe it's just because I was looking at a walkthrough to track my progress. Some of the puzzles gave me a hard time. I looked up the last 4 puzzles and maybe some in the earlier levels. I was kind of tracking my progress on this wiki page for Portal 2. And you're like, man, I just have a little bit left, just a little bit left, and so I kind of sped up a bit, and there was 2 puzzles at the end. I was trying to figure out, and solve the puzzle myself, but if I got stuck, then I'd look them up. But with this, the last 2 or 3, I think the last 2 puzzle rooms, I was like, I just looked them up because I wanted to get to the ending. I saw a screenshot somewhere that kind of spoiled the ending, but I didn't really have the context for it. And luckily, playing the game, I was still blown away by what happened. And, the end was still very surprising because I didn't see the absolute end. And the end of the song, I Want You Gone, which in the first game it was I think it was called I'm Still Alive, which was amazing. And this one's called I Want You Gone. Still very good. I thought of Ben the whole time, and I thought, man, is this the part where I backed off or Ben was beating my butt a lot? I don't know. It seems like he did all the co-op stuff, which you can do. I did not do the co-op stuff, so I just played it solo. My wife applauded me the whole time because she said, you know what, this game drives me crazy. I can't, it's too, you move too fast in it. She gets nauseous looking at a screen where your character's moving very quickly. It's rough sometimes. I really enjoyed it though. what everybody said is true, that it is truly a great game. I kind of don't want there to be a Portal 3. I know there's been a lot of games lately where, like Bloodborne, people want a Bloodborne 2. I don't really want a Bloodborne 2. I'm fine with leaving the things where they were. It's okay to end things where they are, but I heard a saying the other day on a podcast I listened to really resonate with me. The story is over when capitalism says it is. So, maybe the people at Valve decide, hey, there's more of a story to tell or something like that. Or, maybe we have more to say with the main character, Chen. So maybe there'll be more. Maybe there'll be more there. I'm not sure. I think that's it. So again, this really wasn't a game about grief or dealing with grief, but I think I thought of Ben the whole time, and it made me think of my friend and kind of remember him a little bit and how much he just, without getting into the specific test rooms because they're kind of broken up between parts in the game, Ben far surpassed me about halfway through this game, where we were kind of neck and neck. And then we would always ask each other, even at the time, people are doing walkthrough videos even when it was released. And Ben was like, did you look this up? Did you look that up? And I was like, no, I didn't look this up. I figured it out. And, now I'm just like, I'm going to look it up because I wanted to record this and get it done. And also, it was just getting to the end and seeing the end that I heard so much about, in my experience for this game, it very much was a destination of the journey. Because I think Portal has really amazing puzzle design. I don't want to take that away from them. I think too, though, what I noticed with this puzzle game is I was like overthinking a lot of stuff. So I would look at something, I got to shoot there and do this and do that. And then these little walkthrough videos I saw, it's like, no, you just got to shoot this over here and move this platform and then you're good. And I remember that happening in the first one. The second one, the puzzles are a little bit more complex. But it was definitely me making it harder than it needed to be. For no reason whatsoever. So I guess if you haven't played Portal 2, it's been out 11 years, pick it up. It's on sale all the time. It's one of Valve's, signature games. You can find it in the Steam store. I think it was on the PS3 years ago, maybe the 360. I remember seeing it $360. Anyway, I don't know if it's backwards compatible. I didn't check that. But yeah, it's a great game. The ending is amazing. If you want to kind of experience through the story, do what I do. Go to the wiki. They break it down per puzzle, so you can kind of solve what you want to solve, and then kind of go to the places that you're like, I gotta go. I got 5 minutes. Let me solve this puzzle so I can move on or whatever, stuff like that. So do that. So I think that's it for this section. But I'm going to be talking about Elder Sign, which was a board game, and I'll bring up why I played it after the break. Hey, I'm back. So I'm here to talk about Elder Sign, which is a game that came out. I had it written here. Let's see. It came out on... Why can't I find the info? Weird. It came out a long time ago. It came out many years ago on... it's a board game. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because it was a friend of ours' birthday, Avin. He was on the podcast a few weeks ago. He's also on my co-host with The Grief of Politics, and he's been on this podcast a few times when we talk about like the Activision Blizzard thing or just news in general. There's an area of expertise. Like if we do a strategy game, he beat me very hardly at Age of Empires 4. Anyway. On the 21st of May, it was Avin's birthday. So he lives far, far, far away from me. Not that far, but a few hours. So he drove down to see Ben's. We all wanted to hang out, all of us friends, and we saw Ben's widow, Debbie. And she said that there was some games that came. Ben kickstarted a lot of stuff. We talked about it in a couple episodes ago. The one that posted, I think, on the 7th or 8th of May. You can listen to that. But he kickstarted a lot of games. He budgeted for them. He got them, for 50% off or whatever because he was kickstarting them. Well, she said it was really rough because after he passed away, the stuff came late. And so she was just getting boxes and boxes of things that came late. So Avin and I think there was one other person there, my sister-in-law's husband, we literally rolled dice to see who would get what game. I got Elder Sign, along with some other stuff, which I might talk about later, which I think I will. But it came in pieces. I got to order some more pieces for it. Anyway, I got Elder Sign, which is a kind of a Cthulhu kind of H.P. Lovecraft horror game where you play as one of several investigators investigating, one of the ancient ones that is going to awaken. You kind of do a blind pull and decide which ancient one that is going to awaken. There's a literal clock in the game that you move forward every time a player takes a turn. When the clock strikes midnight, the ancient one gets a doom token. If the doom tokens totally fill up, the ancient one is awakened, and the world ends. So that's kind of bad. But basically what your investigators are trying to do is, it's almost like Clue, but instead of a map, you put cards out on the table that are like places or ruins or locations you try to go to find elder signs. And there's rewards at the bottom of the card denoted by different signs. So you get like, a pentagram, which is like an elder sign, or you get you'll get a weapon or a clue. Some things let you reroll things. You are investigator. There's like a gunslinger, a psychologist, a magician. You all get these kind of handles, like you won't lose stamina or sanity or things like that. And it's really fun. We watched, if you remember, an old show that was on Geek and Sundry called Tabletop with Will Wheaton. He would have guests on there. 9 years ago, an episode came out where he played Elder Sign with someone that worked for Wizards of the Coast, or not Wizards of the Coast, Blizzard Entertainment, and someone else who I'm forgetting their name, and Felicia Day. They all sat around a table and played Elder Sign. It's like a 30-minute plus video. It was a great way for my wife and I to watch the rules in the game in action before we actually played the game. So if you have the game and you don't really know if you want to play it or not, or if it's for you, or the game is like $25 on Amazon, if you like that kind of cooperative board gaming, you like kind of the H.P. Lovecraft, Ancient One, whatever, watch that video because it's incredibly instructive. There was a few things we missed, which our game went really well. We didn't suffer a lot of setbacks. So I think maybe we forgot some rules. I read the rules while we were playing. That's one of the other things, You're reading the rules like, I need to brush up on this, and I did it a little bit before. Probably could have went a little bit more smoother. We did beat the old one, or we sealed him away. But again, I think there were some rules we forgot or something like that. It made me think of Ben a lot. We sat around. We talked about it on the podcast again several episodes ago, but we would go over there and play board games all the time and laugh and joke. And my wife and I were joking around, having a good time. She said, I'd like to play that again, which she doesn't really say about board games. She's more of a video gamer, which is totally fine. But I think there's few enough pieces that, and the box is pretty compact, that I never felt that it was too much. There's another game that I got at Ben's, the Dark Souls board game. He got a lot of expansions. I won that in the dice toss because I actually know more about Dark Souls than I do about other things, but I definitely want to check it out. The only thing that wasn't there that we couldn't find was the actual base board game. He got probably every expansion, or at least I think I got like 8 or 9 expansions for the game. I'm looking forward to digging into that. That is also a cooperative game. I saw videos of the minis and things. I'm ordering that next week, and I'll probably give you a report on that in the future sometime. But it was another thing I thought of Ben, where you have all these complex rules. I remember going over to Ben's very late too, like after we'd have dinner, and he'd be like, let's play a board game or something, and it would be like 10:30 at night. And when you have to go over rules like that late, it doesn't really work. Everybody's exhausted. You're food drunk. I just had no patience. And Ben was actually really good at deciphering rules. Whenever we played D&D, the few times not a few times, but the times we played together, he was really understanding about the rules. And he was more, there's two types of, they always call them rules lawyers. There's two type of rules lawyers, in my opinion, that I've kind of, the defendant, the defense, the DA, or not, that's a district attorney, the defense, the defense attorney, who basically, when they look at the rules in D&D, say, let's talk about how these can help you, And then there's a prosecutor that's like, no, you can't do that. Ben was very much a defense attorney, where he looked at it and said, you could do X, Y, and Z. And when we played board games and things, Ben was very good about, okay, you have to do this. Oh, we forgot this. We'll just do that next turn. I always had a good time playing games with Ben. We played like Risk 2049 and played the Lord of the Rings Risk with him. In fact, I bought a copy of it and got it back from him because I kept it there. He lost his copy and I brought it over because I bought it. We played it and he's like, man, I really lost my copy. And I was like, well, listen, at the time he had a lot of people living with him. I said, just keep this copy of the board game here. If people want to play, they can play. You can do what you want to do. And I got it back. So it was a little bittersweet to get that back at the dinner that we had with Avin. But yeah, I probably will talk about Dark Souls again later. But Elder Sign is a really good game. Again, it's $25 on Amazon. It came out, I want to say 2014, but that's probably wrong. But yeah, it's good. That you can play, up to like 6 to 8 people. Again, it says on the back of the box that each game takes about an hour or two. I think with obviously any game, fewer people probably is faster. And we did ignore some rules and we did really well, but that might have just been us ignoring something or not understanding something we should have. But that always happens with games. But I can say that I definitely recommend it and you should give it a shot. And I think with that, everybody, I think that's all. This is going to be it for this week. So a little bit of a shorter episode, but I just wanted to let you know that I finally beat Portal 2. And I wanted to tell you about Elder Sign because it made me think of Ben. And it's a good game. So if you want to sit around and laugh, maybe have a beer like I did with my wife, and just make each other laugh at these dumb ancient ones that don't know how to take over a world. Stupids. Anyway, with that, I want to remind you guys again that this podcast will hit my website, www.gamingwithgrief.com, Monday morning at 7 a.m. Please go there and let me know what you think of the show. You can also subscribe to the podcast in either Apple iTunes, the Google Play Store. I'm on Spotify, and older episodes are hitting iTunes, and I will soon be caught up, so everything will hit iTunes day and date at the same time this is. I also want to remind you guys that you can write to me at GWGPodfellas if you want to do that. Let me know about a game that you want me to review, what you think of the show, what I can do to improve, stuff like that. And I'm trying to think. And I'm on Twitter at JustLittleJoe. So again, I'm getting better about promoting the show, but I'm going to try to get even better about that. So I think with that, that's it. You guys have a good week, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye.